NZ Aerosports, Icarus Canopies, now Gyro. That's right, we've rebranded, and Gyro is our next generation. It honours our founder, as that's the name we knew him by, but Gyro also marks the start of a new chapter. And not to be biased, but it's going to be fucking epic. Long story short, we're more us than ever, so if you're new to the sport, or even a Sky God Ninja Turtle, welcome. I think our valiant leader Lucy, Gyro's daughter, says it best.
And we still got that fuck your attitude. Rebrand! Woo!
Rebrand woo indeed, Lucy. Anyway, head over to gyro.com for more info and get amongst you legends.
I was 19, broke, unemployed, and sold my girlfriend's canopy for drug money. So I thought I better sew her a new one. What a sentence, and what a story. This describes the humble yet outrageous beginnings of NZ Aerosports, the home of Icarus Canopies, in the words of our founder himself. From getting a paratrooper toy from his mom, watching parachutes at the DZ as a 6-year-old, jumping off the wharf with a parachute made from bed sheets, doing his first jump at 16, sewing his first canopy on a borrowed machine at 19, and starting to sell parachutes out of a garage in 1986, Paul Gyro Martin had an undying love for the sky. Our company started with one man with the wildest of spirits and a true blue sky dream, a renegade. In the time that Gyro created and ran the Icarus Canopies brand until he passed away in 2017, he pushed everything he had to its limits. We miss him, and we always will. Gyro is the next generation of NZ Aerosports. It honors our founder, of course, because it was the name we all knew him by, but Gyro the rebrand also marks the start of a new chapter, our next jump. Gyro is the space between sound and silence, art and science, chaos and calm. Gyro is a state of epic tranquility that transcends understanding. That moment, in the door, in free fall, mid-swoop, where nothing but the present exists. A perfect balance of euphoria and thrill. Gyro captures our passion for flying and our commitment to designing break-the-fucking-rules canopies that deliver pilots pure, wild flight. Hey gang, so I got a new book out. It's called The Upside of Fear, and it's exactly what you think it's about. It's about the good side of, well, getting scared. In it, we talk not only about the science and biology behind fear, but the psychology as well. And it's not just coming from me, it's coming from some of the best in the sport. Omar Alhigelan, Jeff Provenzano, Maxine Tate, and so many more have contributed their sometimes terrifying stories to the book to help you overcome your fear. So head to the lunaticfringepodcast.com. You're going to find the link to the book there, as well as the other books. It's available in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook right now.
Coming straight from the cockpit, it's another episode of Lunatic Fringe with the fucking pilot.
Ready, set, go. Back in the can for another edition of the Lunatic Fringe podcast, and round two with someone, but we're one-on-one this time, so straight to it. Who the fuck are you, and what do you do?
Hello, my name's Anna Moxnes. I'm a professional skydiver.
Professional skydiver, and apparently you're a pro at pouring wine out of a box.
Well, at the moment I'm fucking failing because I can't seem to open it, but yeah. Oh, and we've just gone on air, and this is Foxy Moxie, my teammate.
Well, there you
husband.
Go. Cheers, Foxy Moxie husband.
Cheers.
We've just come in on the snow scooter, and we're battling against the weather here in Norway.
Yeah, so you were telling me you're at the top of a relatively steep, icy hill on a farmhouse in Norway.
Yeah, this August we got ourselves a new project, and it's a 200-year-old farmhouse just at the back of Voss, the skydiving center here. So we're about 20 minutes from the drop zone. 25. And we're up a hill, and it's terrible weather at the moment, so it's a bit icy. So we decided to solve the problem of not being able to access the farm by buying a snow scooter and a sledge. So yeah, we were transporting stuff up for the rebuild on the snow
I
scooter. So
mean,
I'm
hey,
soaking wet.
creative problems require creative
Creative
solutions.
solutions, sir. Exactly.
Yes, absolutely. So before we get into the skydiving stuff, 200-year-old restoration
Yeah.
project. Does that make you nervous now that you've done it?
Man, no, it's pointless being nervous once you've done it, isn't it? I think I thrive in chaos because it's definitely chaotic here. And we also rescued two sausage dogs at a boogie in Sweden this summer. And of course, then Nina, who's sleeping next to me here, she got pregnant. So we have a 200-year-old farmhouse in restoration and 6 puppies, so 8 dogs total with mum and dad.
Wow.
So it's absolute chaos and probably the most joy I've experienced in a long time. It's cool.
How
But
the hell are you?
I'm not saying I'd recommend it for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, my wife and I just moved into to our place at the beginning of the year, and this place was built in 2008, and the kitchen remodel scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, man, we were away in Imperia Brava for the Christmas boogie, and we got a phone call to say, like, the guys that were working in our kitchen, like, it was tools down. They found rot in the bottom of the structural piece of the house. And then at the same time, we have this huge tent that we were using for the rebuild and also using for like packing in the summer and stuff because we can jump in the garden. And it collapsed under the weight of the snow. So like, yeah, there was a whole bunch
Oh,
of stuff went down all at the same time. But yeah, it wasn't up. It was all right.
it's pretty wild. Actually, it's kind of funny that you say tent because I had never, coming from the States, I had never seen construction tents before where they build a tent big enough to fit a fucking house in and then build the house under the tent. But now that
Yeah,
I'm here in Finland, that's incredibly common.
because of the weather.
Yeah.
We even have some really cool hangars in Norway that are tents. I don't know if you use those in the States. I think building generally might be cheaper in the
Sure.
States. And
Sure.
what do we know?
Yeah. So
You're a
outside
pilot,
of
weren't you?
what's that?
You were a pilot, weren't you? Weren't you
I've flown
flying?
I've flown a plane once or twice. Yeah.
How many hundreds of thousands of hours?
I have about 14,000 hours.
14,000. Not too
Yeah.
shabby.
It's a little bit time in the seat. Yeah. I'm pretty much officially retired from flying, which it's the longest I've been on the ground in 28 years this last year.
And you have nothing to tell people when you walk into a room.
It's
Can you say I retired pilot instead
Oh
of
yeah,
just
of course I do. See, but now I get to stretch out the title because it's a retired pilot / professional skydiver because I've retired from both of those.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it's on to the next. Well, that's you're actually part of the next career, which is writing. Because figure I'm your boss. You're my boss.
Barely. Yeah, you're very good at writing. You always make me so happy to read everything that you write, and it's you're really good at definitely managing my kind of tone. I'd say.
I'm potentially I'm an acquired taste. I have a niche within a niche.
Yeah.
Which
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's probably why I identify with it so much. Maybe I'm just an acquired taste too. I've been told before that I swear too much. So
that.
now fuck that. Yeah, right. Now because I'm British as well, I like swear and then I'm like, oh, sorry about swearing, and then I'm like, I don't know, fuck it.
Well, you know what somebody said to me the other day, and it was really kind of funny, is they said, you'll sit and have a conversation with someone and be professional and very adult and responsible. But the first time somebody drops an F-bomb, the first thing you think is, oh, I can trust this person.
Yeah, there's definitely a level of it. I think also, I mean, I took the feedback in the way because it was valid feedback because I was swearing on stage and I still swear on stage for sure. But I made me think that maybe some people it's not, it just made me think a little bit about it. So, yeah, I mean, I still swear on stage.
Sure. Well, you know,
I
that was
suppose if
always.
you don't like it, don't fucking come.
Absolutely. Well, one of my favorite things always about being in the community of skydiving was that I never felt like I had to hold my tongue ever.
Yeah. Accepted.
Yes. You just say whatever, you know, and it's I mean, obviously that doesn't always translate into regular life, but I've been in the industry and around the industry for so many years that chances are if I know you, you have something to do with skydiving.
Yeah.
You know. Not to
Exactly.
mention, I mean, we're talking about something that's a very extreme, very passionate activity, and that generally brings along that kind of language too.
Colorful, excited language, one might
Yes.
say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I wrote for Blue Skies magazine, I wrote an entire article on the word fuck,
Yeah,
which,
because was yours the Ask the Fucking Pilot?
yeah,
Or
yeah,
the
yeah.
yeah. It's
Yes. I had so much fun doing that because Laura and Cola, a bit like you and Holly Blue, in that I got to be myself quite a bit in the writing. And
yeah.
Laura never edited a single word that I wrote, which to this day shocks me because I read back some of my stuff going, holy shit.
It's nice though. It's nice to kind of like time capture all those things, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
before we get too deep into the woods with everything else, and I start asking you about your remodel, tell everybody, because you've been on before, but tell everybody again how you particularly got started in skydiving, the background behind all of it.
I grew up on a drop zone, like all the best people, I think, because you're raised by wolves and raised by a village, which is I think is a cool place to grow up.
Mm,
Uh, my father, he ran a skydiving center in Wales where I grew up. And he'd been an instructor for my grandfather, who had a skydiving center in Hereford, which was like an ex-military kind of drop zone. So him and my mum met there and then went off and started their own drop zone. So yeah, I was kind of born into the sport. But I started quite late as a skydiver. I think I started jumping after tandem. I think I did my AFF in like when I was like 21, 22,
really?
because yeah, because I was on the drop zone my whole life. And then when I started to be like a teenager, my mum would keep me and my sister a little bit more away from the drop zone, you know? And then I got into music and I joined a band at the age of 14 that was a touring band. So I was on the road with music basically. And until the day, like I went into this band and then my uncle, he's actually here on the mountain as well now, helping us build the kitchen. My uncle Kevin, he taught me to skydive but he'd been mithering me since I was like 13, 14. Hey, you gotta come do AFF, go do AFF. And then I was doing the music, and then like the day that I finished with it, I said, I'll be out next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday.
Wow, wow. We'll get back to the jumping, but I want to hear more about the band.
The band was cool, man. Have you ever seen the? I've heard a few band experiences, but do you know the film The Commitments?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was that. It was basically that. But they were a 13-piece soul band we were. And I was one of three backing singers, and then
No
two.
shit.
Yeah, yeah, and it was just because a friend of mine, she was really, really into this band, and they were like a really tight, really fantastic live show. And we went to see them a couple of times, and she was like, "Hey, hey, hey! I heard they're doing auditions. You can sing." Just because I would sing like pissed up in the ladies' toilets. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And I was like, nah, come on. So yeah, long story short, I
That
got the job at quite a young age and went off with them.
I mean, for especially coming from a skydiving family, you just described, I think, the only thing that might make DZOs nervous to send their kid off to do, which is being a fucking touring band.
Yeah, but I was like, I mean, if you grow up around skydivers, I'd say your bullshit meter is pretty on point.
Sure.
So it was really easy for me, you know, like I was really taken care of well by all of the band. Uh, there was so much nonsense around, but because I was so young, I just like it was just in the periphery. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And they would pick me up in a van and they would drop me home at night every night, and I would come and I would sing my songs, and yeah, it didn't. I was quite sheltered. It was very nice.
So growing up, first off as a drop zone brat, and then heading off to do touring with a band, were you either had to have been the coolest kid in school or a total pariah?
Yeah, not cool. Not
Was
cool
it
at
so? Were you
all.
just a weird chick that fucking had people that jumped out of airplanes and you thought you could sing?
I think when I don't know how it was. I think I was just odd to my friends when I was younger, and like I took a couple. Well, my dad's also my dad's ex-military, right? So like I went through quite a few best friends because I'd invite them on a camping trip, and we didn't do the kind of camping trip that like maybe they would go for. Like we'd be out for fucking 3 days, and yeah, different. So I went through a few best friends who were never came camping with us again, and then I stopped bringing my friends to meet my family, and then I got to keep some more friends. Yeah, so I think I was odd, definitely,
For
but I
sure.
was all right. It was all right.
But
It was really nice to be odd because you never have one particular friendship group. I was pretty good at sport as well, so I think I got away with some stuff because they'd want to have me on their team because I could hit people hard and stuff.
sure, sure. Well, it's kind of funny because looking back, and it's not always the case, but a lot of the time, the cool kids in school didn't stay that way because they were never forced to really, do anything other than just be cool. And the rest of us were forced
Yeah,
to, find a different path,
yeah, yeah,
which
agreed.
which is kind
I
of
think
nice.
it's cyclical as well, though, because I think like the cool and the uncool is just like I think it goes in a little cycle throughout your life,
Sure.
and
So,
it's probably just kind of ego checks at different points.
yeah, yeah, of course. Now,
Yeah.
when you finally ended up stepping back on the drop zone, was it something that you were super stoked to do, or was it okay, fine, I'll finally do this?
My dad took me to Hinton, which is a really, really nice drop zone, but the weather was fucking shit. There was somebody had like not turned up for a charity tandem, so basically it was a free jump. So he called me. I did a long drive, and I went there and I sat on the drop zone maybe 9 hours, and I did the tandem, and I was like, "That's cool." But by the end of the weather and the day, I was like, "Oh, this skydiving like it seems a bit, uncomfortable." So I was not completely enamored by the tandem, but I was very enamored by the guys that I jumped with because they were so nice, and my dad was so stoked, and so we had a really, really lovely day.
Mm.
But then it was another year until I did AFF, and AFF blew my socks off.
What sparked
I never went home.
really?
Yeah, pretty much.
So from the first tandem that was okay, but the guys were really cool. What sparked the desire to actually go do AFF after another year?
That was more my uncle just telling me like he was more of a man of the world, and I loved where I grew up so much, and I had the music thing going on, and like I'd been running a nightclub, and I was like dating a local rugby player, and I think like my path was set. My mum thought I would never ever ever leave Swansea, and my uncle was like, "It's time to get out of Dodge, girl."
All right. All
Well,
right.
not Dodge because Swansea's a really lovely, lovely place, but it's time to see the world.
Well, I mean, it's the old, where you're from is great, but no matter how cool where you're from is, it's not the whole world. You still got to go see other things.
Yeah, I think it's really nice, and I've always wondered a little bit, especially with kind of the traditional the hero's journey.
Sure.
And I always, when I was younger, I always thought that, there would still be the same people sitting in the local pub, doing the same thing. And I was always like, oh, I can't believe that you don't want to get out and see the world. But I don't necessarily know that you need to leave anywhere in order to come back. I think we're all discovering life in the best
Sure.
way we know how. But it's
Sure.
it's definitely it smashes open your perception more when you kind of just change your instant reality. I think you have it's easier to navigate a little bit more.
Well, I completely agree. So now
Yeah.
you go through AFF, you start jumping. Obviously, jumping in the UK is a tough prospect.
Didn't jump in the UK. I learned at Skydive in Puria Brava, baby.
Did you really?
Yeah, in the time when it was really, really cool.
Nice, nice. So what
Yeah.
was that like? I mean, you made the decision and it was just all right, let's get out from under the clouds and piss off to Spain.
Yeah. It actually was a little bit to do with that tandem because I'd gone home and we'd gone out for dinner with my boyfriend at the time and his family, and to like telling them the story. And I was really excited, and I realized as I was telling the story how excited I was. But it was as if, and I think that this was something to do with being the female at the table. Like there was me and the boys, and then the father, and really nice people. But it was the other boys on the table. They told the story about doing a tandem, and it was like that everything switched. It was like, no, like you can't do sport and skydiving because your job is to have babies and like, do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Maybe you don't know what I mean. So all of a sudden I felt this like, oh, this is a really weird place. I don't know if this I'm not okay with this as the path. So yeah, I said thank you very much. It's been really nice hanging out with you. I booked a ticket to Thailand with my best mate. And then I went straight to Spain and did my AFF stuff after that. And
You
never
don't
went
strike
back.
me as the type of person that likes to be pigeonholed.
Not so much. But
So,
it's like that moment of flash of your whole life before you were like, fuck, no thanks.
all right. But still to go and to start your AFF in Imperia Brava and to quote you, you say, and I just never went home. I mean, that's a big shift from, music and doing all that kind of stuff and kind of being happy with home to, okay, here we go. I'm pardon the pun, jumping in with both feet.
Yeah, right. I mean, I went back to the UK a couple of times to do like temping work for an agency, and I was working for a sound equipment company, so that was really cool. So it was a transition like over 6 months.
Mm.
So it was not as bold as I made it sound, but it was still it was still pretty abrupt. And
Yeah,
yeah,
that's still
packed
pretty bold.
stuff. Yeah.
So you're in Imperia Brava, you've gone through AFF, obviously, you become a sports skydiver out there. But, I mean, although I'm sure you had ways, Spain can't be a great place to live without an income. So what were you doing for work?
Uh, like back home, I'd been managing nightclubs and being a little bit in the music industry and stuff. So my first port of call was to try and find a nightclub, and the nightclubs in Spain, or at least where I was around Imperia Brava, it's not the same. Like Imperia Brava is a town with a good few whorehouses, like 3 nightclubs and no school, and no church, and a job zone.
And a drop zone.
Yeah, so the nightclubs that I went to work in a nightclub, and it was I didn't like it. They used at all, but I really wanted to stay. And I remember I was living with my Uncle Kevin, and coming back one night and just being like in tears, and I can't do this. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't want to go home. I can't go back to that fucking club anymore. And he was just like, and this is probably one of the best work lessons I've had in my life. He's like, well, just don't go. What? He's like, well, just don't go. If you hate something so much, don't do it. Like, what? I can just not do it if I don't like it. Yeah, absolutely. Don't go back there. I'm like, but what will happen? He's like, you'll make it work, you know? And I did. And I started working at the drop zone, and I was driving the van and helping out on Manifest and working behind the bar at the drop zone. And then I started working for a jumpsuit manufacturer, and I had about 3 jobs at any one time there.
Sure. Well, I mean, figuring out that you can quit doing something that you don't like is an incredibly difficult lesson to learn.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was very
It's
liberating.
I mean, it's fucking scary, right? Because
Yeah.
especially, I mean, you're raised in the Western world. Once you find yourself on a path, you keep it. And if you've got a stable income, you don't walk away until you've got another one to go to. You'd
And
never
that's
just quit.
it's kind of a bullshit thing to do in life as well, right? It's a bullshit
Yes.
thing to do in relationships. You shouldn't be a 1 foot in one and 1 foot in the other one. Like you have to at some point just take the leap and
Sure.
trust that everything's going to be okay, and it will be.
Do you think it's
But
an
it
easy?
does. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's not okay if you don't like pack your base rig properly. You know what I mean? You have to do some effort for things to be okay.
Sure.
But trusting is a good thing.
Do you think learning to walk away from something you don't like is a lesson easier learned by somebody that's in something like skydiving because we deal with the finality of life so much? I mean, you're in it any length of time and you realize, oh, I might not be here tomorrow. So if I'm not enjoying this, I should walk away.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe. Maybe we should ask non-skydivers that question more. Or yeah, I think, do you know what I think it is? I think skydiving gives you the balls. It's the first time to be able to be like, wait, I am in charge of my own life and I am in charge of these decisions. And it definitely gives you a sense of confidence in oneself, which is cool.
I think we're better at dealing with moving forward, even though we're scared.
Yeah. Well, you think you say that, but like I've definitely been in situations where I've been so scared. Like I've been in competition, for example. I've been more scared in competition than I have maybe in the beginning of skydiving. And I was so afraid, and this is interesting because it's like a psychological fact that we're more afraid of being cast out from the community than we are of dying, basically. Because what would happen in this competition? It was an indoor competition. The worst thing that could happen to me is like I get knocked out on the wall or whatever. But it's not, I shouldn't have been that scared, but I was so scared about being judged that I didn't know if I could walk. I was in the supermarket before our first round of this competition that we've been training for ages, and I was like, I'm gonna puke. I'm gonna drop dead on the floor in this supermarket, and I was like, is that really how I'm gonna go? Dropping dead in a fucking supermarket in I don't know where we were, somewhere in the middle of Europe, and I was like, yeah.
It's kind of funny because I just wrote a book about fear, and I had a bunch of
You just wrote a book?
Yeah.
Just drop that in there.
Yeah. Well,
In.
hey, I gotta plug it. I'm on my own show. It's the only place I can plug it.
How long did that take you?
It was too fucking quick because it was supposed to be my goddamn winter project, and I wrote the thing in 4 weeks.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, I'm gonna go. May I be your first customer and buy a copy?
It's been on the market since December, so that shows how well I've been promoting it, I guess.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well done. Okay,
yeah, thank you.
But fear, tell me.
I had a bunch of pros give me stories about overcoming fear in the sport, and it's funny that you had said that because I approached you and Cowie, and out of all of the different things that skydivers can talk about in overcoming fear, his was exactly that. It was talking about the borderline terror, of dealing with such a high pressure situation like a big competition.
Yeah, I'd never experienced anything like that before. And I was thinking at that time, like, I'm never doing anything like this again. Like, this is disgusting. I really felt like I was just gonna melt into a little blob on the floor and not exist anymore. And then as soon as it's over, you were like, give me some of that sweet, sweet crack again.
Of course. Well, so let's backtrack for anybody that doesn't know. You're talking about competing, so they can go back and listen to the first podcast if they want a bit more detail into how you worked more into skydiving. But talk about your competition days. How did you get into competition? Who, where, what, when, wow, how, all of it.
That was the Joyriders. So yeah, I started the Joyriders because I tried out for the Norwegian national team like pretty late actually into my skydiving career because it took me quite a while to have anything to be able to try out for. Pre-tunnel days, shall we say.
Sure.
But also just like working in the sport and hustling, trying to get enough jumps and getting around. Finally I was starting to show enough progress to see if I could try this dream of competing. I tried out for the national team and didn't get in. So I was like, fuck, I really want to do this thing. And I was hanging out with another chick at the time called Camilla, and she was a badass. And she couldn't always fly all of her time in the tunnel. She would say, I've got tired, Anna, will you help me? And I was like, yeah. She was just really being kind to me. So we started the Joyriders after a box of wine in Bottrop, which was the first tunnel in Europe. And we wanted to do dynamic. So we started flying two-way dynamic together, and we thought that it would be really nice to have a female four-way dynamic team. So yeah, couple more wines in after we'd come up with the name, which was, I had the old list somewhere. The other names are really, really, really bad. It's like fucking Nirvana Sisters or the Flight of the Iris or some really horror. So I'm really happy we landed on Joyriders because it's coming up on like 13 years now, I think.
Right.
And I can still look at it and be like, yeah. So then we called Amy Shemelecki, who was the coolest chick in skydiving. Still, I think.
Still one of them.
Yeah. so out of the blue called her. She was really into the dynamic thing, just that it was coming off. And she was like, yeah, sign me up. She'd just gone through some major life changes and she wanted to change some stuff up. So she's like, yeah, put me in, coach. So then we called Domi, who was the current world champion in free fly.
Yeah.
And she was the same. She was like, yeah, let's do it. And me and Camilla were like, shit. So yeah, so then we started that team, and that team taught me everything about how to be in a team, because there was such different levels of competition experience and skydiving experience, and we're all different ages. And I had my ass handed to me daily, and I was super feisty and super pushy, and yeah.
Well, I think being in an
And
environment like that where you are having your ass handed to is either going to do one or two things. It's going to push you back to, no, I don't want to compete, or it's going to drive you to do dramatically better.
yeah, it was, I was really, really like endlessly grateful for that period, and all of the people that supported us and the people that we met when we were staying places and training, like some really long life relationships, and the girls, man, like there was something's really, really cool about that team, is like, because now we don't have anybody competing specifically, but it's it's a network,
Sure.
basically. So it's all professional female air sports people in the team, and we meet once a month and we exchange ideas, stories, we do projects together, and it's like absolutely invaluable. And anything else in your life could kind of go down, and you'd still have this like core group of fucking really strong females that
Sure.
to
Well,
support
and
you. So
something
it's really
like
cool.
that has to touch every aspect of your life in and out of the sport.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think,
yeah, it was amazing. It was really, 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 really amazing. And now we want, because of how amazing it has been for all of us, we want to like transition, slowly bring in new girls and make sure that the kind of torch is passed.
yeah,
And
pass that torch
uh,
on.
yeah, exactly.
So you
Yeah, and
didn't,
then we were competing at the time, and then the guy that was running the Norwegian national team, like, so 2 years after, 3 years after maybe, I got a phone call, and he's like, we're super impressed with what you did when you got turned down and you didn't give up, and there's a slot if you want it. So I was like, hey girls, what do you think about this? And they're like, take it, go for it.
for
And
sure.
yeah.
Well, so that all came about from not dying in the supermarket and doing well in that first competition.
No, we you know what? We did really, really great on day one, like really great. And it was the competition's over 2 days, and we finished in the afternoon, and we just did a classic peak too soon. Like we got so excited, like we we might have had a cocktail because our rounds weren't until like the afternoon of the next day, and we were just like, we're gonna fucking smash this, we're so awesome, da, da, da. And it was just pure meltdown city the next day. It was terrifying.
Lesson
So
learned, though, right?
hardcore, yeah.
So you get through that. Obviously, you got a real taste for the competition side of things. Then now you're being offered the next step. So let's go from there.
Yeah, we hustled together a team, myself and two other young Norwegian lads from the local drop zone here. And yeah, we started training, and we sat down this time with a bottle of whiskey, not a box of wine. So excuse me to all the non-drinkers out there, but they're in some of the big life choices, there has been some cheers,
Cheers.
inebriation.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ding.
Moose, he was working offshore. So he brought us a really fine bottle of whiskey from the Scottish Highlands. And Pedder, he was working in the manifest at the drop zone. And I was like, okay, I only want to do this if we do this really seriously. And I knew the free fly scene pretty well. I've been involved since like 2004. And I was like, I think it's going to take us 4 to 6 years, but I think that we can become world champions,
Wow.
which is a pretty ballsy fucking
It's a bold
goal.
statement.
It's pretty bold. But I was like, why not? And I kind of said it in a way that like, okay, but then as we get a little bit deeper into the years that we were together, I was like, oh shit, it's on, you know? And yeah.
I mean, that's you have a good, say, local team that's doing a good job, and they're, doing fantastic in their area or maybe even in their region. But to go from that to world champion, where the levels just,
It's
holy shit.
mental. We went to
Yes.
our first competition like complete idiots. But I think that first, not complete idiots. I mean, completely. It was just, when you don't know, it's just such a beautiful place in a way, because
Sure.
we were just so ballsy and so like, and we trained really, really hard for that first competition. And we got there and it was like, I was like, even though we came, I think, I can't remember, eighth or something. I was like, I could still see the steps. Do you know what
Sure.
I mean? And everybody was so encouraging to us, and we were so united as a team, and we had trained so hard. It was actually some of the best skydives I've ever done in my life, because I think it's the only moment I truly have experienced flow properly. Because maybe I don't know if it's what I
Nice.
experienced, but like it was a sunset jump off, because first round is always hardest.
Sure.
At least I think so. Were you competing?
I was camera flyer for a sky surf team in the late 90s.
Oh, that's badass. So did you do like ESPN and stuff?
No, we were first off, we missed the X Games boat, but we were not at that level. Like,
Yeah,
we competed in the 98 nationals, and this is
nice.
back when they still separated male and female sky surfing. And
Yeah,
Mary
okay.
Tortomasi was my sky surf partner. So she was on the board and I'm shooting camera. But we
Yeah.
were up against Firestarter, which was
That's
Craig
a
and
cool
Tanya
name.
O'Brien, which were,
Ooh,
you
Craig
just,
O'Brien.
yeah, exactly,
No big deal.
exactly. So it was intimidating. Well, when we first went, we went to compete in, we weren't going to compete in the open, but
Yeah,
we were the only team in the intermediate, and we're like, well, I don't want to win with nobody. I'd rather lose to someone. So we changed
yeah.
to open. And the first round was nerve-wracking until we watched all the videos and realized that Craig and Tanya were so much fucking better than us that there was no stress. And by like round
Which is nice.
three, Craig was giving me camera tips, and
Yeah,
Tanya was giving Mary, sky surfing
yeah,
tips, because there was just no way. But it
yeah.
was also a kind of a relief, because unlike you, where you saw the road to becoming world champion, I saw that my road literally went off into a sinkhole, and that it was never going to fucking happen. And it was kind of relieving to just go, oh, okay, I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, I definitely, that's the nice place to be in competition as well.
Yes.
But I think it only comes if you do give a shit as well.
Sure.
Because if you just turn up and you're not giving a shit, then you won't get that same kind of appreciation and joy for also seeing somebody do what you've been really trying hard to do and do it
Sure.
so well.
Sure.
So, we had many competitions like that. It was never like we weren't in, like we would always win our nationals, and we had some great challenge in our nationals, because everybody wanted to take us down. But when we were in competing on the world stage, it was we had a good few competitions where we could have a nice time, and it
Sure.
wasn't as pressured.
Sure.
And those were really nice years as well.
It honestly, it is fun to still be in a competition environment, but to have
Yeah,
an immense amount of that pressure lifted off of you. I
yeah,
mean, really, for Marion and myself, with those jumps, it was just do the best you can anymore, because it's just about seeing what we can do. And because they separated male and female, we got to see ourselves getting destroyed by Craig and Tanya, but we also got to see our numbers in comparison with the men competing.
ah,
And we were scoring better than some of the men's teams, which was just
yeah.
fucking tasty. At the end of the day, there was only a gold and a silver medal handed out. So I still get to say I'm a U.S. national silver medalist. I don't have to put the only other
No,
team was
fuck
the gold
no.
medal.
Man, but how sky surfing is hard as shit.
Oh God, you ain't kidding. And she
Yeah, I
had the
mean,
hard part, man. I just
I
had to keep
know.
her in frame and try and make it look creative.
Yeah, no, let's bring back sky surfing.
I actually just did a podcast yesterday with a guy by the name of Tom Guns, who has started sky surfing again and is trying to bring it back. So let's
Wait,
see.
Tom Guns?
Yeah, he's jumping in Florida.
That's a very cool name.
That is kind of a, yeah. Tommy Guns. I might be
Hey,
pronounced, it
Tommy.
might be Goons, but I think it's Guns,
Yeah.
Gunes. So he was just on the show. I recorded with him yesterday. So he'll be the one that comes out just before you. So we'll see what guys are. So, and anyway, you're working, you're on the international stage, you're going for it. You've made this commitment to yourself and your teammates that you're going to take the world. What happened?
Yeah. Well, we had a couple of bumps in the road. We were also competing dynamic four-way. And we started to get pretty good at that as well. So we were like ranking, I think we got third in the European Championships, and then we were at the Sakura Cup, which was one of the last. It was a really, really big competition. And we were training one day for a dynamic competition, and myself and Peta had a crash, and Peta got knocked out, and he was ended up with a concussion that put him out of the game for a year.
Wow.
We were in the end, we didn't realize it was going to be a year at the time. Like he even came to the next event we were organizing and like tried to help out, and then ended up having to go home because like he couldn't leave a dark room. So yeah, we were coming up on a competition. I think maybe we were 6-8 months out from our next big competition, which was a World Cup. And we were like, okay, we either skip this one or we fold the team, or we see if we can get someone to step in.
Sure.
So it turns out I'm very lucky to be married to an excellent free flyer. And we'd asked him at the beginning as well if he wanted to do the team, and he's already done like 8 years of a really successful team. So he was like, I'm good, thanks. So yeah, when Petty got injured, we asked him if he could come and help us, and he was kind of reluctant, but then was like, yeah, I'm in 100%. And he then committed to the next 4 years with us, I think, and to all the training. And it was hard. I'd say that was challenging for him, man. Like it was a baptism of fire. Me and Moose, the cameraman, we've been flying together a long time.
Sure.
And we could like, he's my brother. Like we can argue midair, and like it's quite funny. So we'd be like doing our thing, and Moose just be like, "Where do you need me?"
All right.
But he describes it as I had a plan, and all he had to do is follow my plan, and everything was going to be okay. And I thought that's a very nice way to put it. So yeah, we went to the next competition. We trained a lot for it, and we won that one and took our first World Cup.
How was that? I mean,
that was amazing. That was in Eloy as well, which is for me is one of the like epic mega centers for free fly, and like see it. You have the flyboys carved into the concrete there. And the first time I ever went there was my first ever. It was also another pivotal point in my skydiving. So that place has always been like incredibly special for me. So yeah, and so I've got some good friends there now.
Sure.
So it was a really nice place to throw down that win.
Well, I'm West Coast. I mean, Paris was my first turbine drop zone, and Paris, yeah, was my first turbine drop zone. The nationals I flew at was Elsinore, and then I did my AFF in Eloy, my instructor rating in Eloy. So, man, I grew up to the Chronicles, Olav and Omar, Flyboys generation.
The real stuff.
Yeah, 45-second fucking heroes, I mean,
dude. Like I still have not kids, sorry, but young skydivers. I'm like, have you seen crosswinds? And they're like, across what? I'm like, sit down.
Yep. I just had one pop up on one of the social feeds, and it was the video of I think it was probably a 15-way around with Olav in the big baggy suit flying it like it's a wind tunnel.
Yeah.
You know, those were
that was the beginning, right? They're like this beautiful, there's magic things that happen throughout our timeline, right? But I remember when I was living and working in Imperia Brava, it was like Fred and Vince would go to Eloy for like training and go off for different events, and it was just like this other world, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Ooh, Eloy. I wonder if I'll ever go there.
Sure. You know,
Yeah.
I'll never forget the first time I ever drove into Eloy, 5 miles out from Eloy. You're like, this is a fucking shithole. Where the hell am I driving to? And
I
even as you're
know.
driving, and granted, it's been a long time since I've been there, but even as you're driving up the first drive to get in there, you're like, am I in the right place?
You know what's so super amazing is now the local skydivers are becoming part of the town council there to help improve
Yes.
safety. That's
Yes.
so impressive to
Well,
me.
is it
Like,
is it the mayor or one of the higher ups in local government there? And granted, it was for a sad reason. It was for the balloon accident out there, but she was on the news talking because she's an active skydiver,
ah,
talking about the balloon pilot and all that kind of stuff. And I went, oh, yeah, we are kind of that age now. We are
with
that
that,
generation. Shit.
got to take responsibility. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it is a crazy place, but I mean, it's beautiful, man, as
yes.
well. Like in the sunset and sunrise is like nothing else I've ever seen.
Oh yeah. I mean, my home drop zone was Las Vegas, so same kind
Ah,
of
okay.
scenery. Just
Wait, so
this
then you know Ray Kubiak?
I
Did you cross over with him?
I have the privilege to say that I taught Ray how to fly in a wind tunnel.
I fucking love that guy so much.
He
You know, he was a joyrider for a time. He
was he
filmed it.
really?
Yeah, it fucking best. Anyway, sorry, carry on. You tell me.
I was the first instructor to take him into the wind tunnel. He
Hmm.
obviously got dramatically better without my fucking help. Very, very quickly
Yeah,
he went from that tall, skinny guy that slams into the walls to ninja pretty quickly.
yeah.
And then I shot video on his first ever skydive.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah,
Yeah,
we know each other.
I love Ray. I've had him on the show a
Me
few
too.
times. He actually hosted a couple of episodes for me.
Okay, man, because he should. Like,
He's amazing.
he's amazing, and he's a great rapper.
Yes. Well,
Yeah, and I think,
he's fucking
God,
hilarious too.
he's absolutely hilarious. We had this like video chat going on for a long time, of, like because we were training in Paraclete, and we just have all of these clips of Ray. He's just, I mean, they're not for the internet, let me tell you,
No, no,
but
no,
they are
no.
fucking funny.
Oh, it's absolutely hilarious. Actually, Ray is
Yeah,
another one of the contributors in the book.
he is. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, yes,
okay.
because he's my go-to for anything tunnel if I've got questions. I mean,
Yeah,
he's been in the tunnel, almost as long as I've been in the sport.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, I want to push. It would be so nice for him to interact and meet so many more new tunnel flyers. I think that's an important kind of connection for everyone. Because
absolutely.
yeah,
Well,
he's
it's
OG.
I don't know. I'm not enough of a tunnel flyer, and I don't know because it's its own world as well as having a bunch of skydivers in it. So I don't know what the generational thing is with tunnel flying. I
I
only know
think they'd do
skydiving.
well for more time with Ray,
Everybody would do more time
right?
with Ray. I mean, come on, come on. So
Yeah.
back to winning that first championship, you'd
Mm.
made this plan. You set this, what some would say, absolutely outrageous goal. And now you're standing on the podium in Eloy having just done it. Like, did it hit you when you were standing on the podium or did it take a while?
When we were standing on the podium, the thing that I was most concerned about was being able to sing the Norwegian national anthem correctly. Because I grew up a huge rugby fan, and I played rugby since I was pretty young. And I would like steal they used to have this thing called schoolboys pass, and I would always be so pissed off that the boys got a free pass to the rugby, but we weren't allowed. But I had some good dude mates, so they like would pass it through the gates to me, and then I'd like put my hood down and so go free to the rugby like 3 times a week and get to know all of the like lines people. And so I was into rugby, basically, long and
Right.
short. And I remember whenever they showed the international games, and there was people, because I grew up, I'm British, but I've had a Norwegian license, I think, since my third year of skydiving. So I had
Okay.
a Norwegian license for a long time and married a Norwegian. But whenever there was players from other countries, I used to think it was so shitty that they couldn't sing the Welsh national anthem. Now, the Welsh national anthem is really difficult. So I should probably have been less judgmental when I was younger. But it was important for me to be able to like send that song.
Sure.
So I have some friends of mine a few seasons earlier knew that that was my ambition, so they asked me to sing it for the opening of the nationals in Norway, the skydiving nationals. So then I had to learn it at one
Sure.
point, and I ballsed it up completely. Like I got it maybe 80% right, but some of the words not completely correct. And they
Isn't
were
it?
like, "Oh, that's so sweet." I'm like, "That's not sweet. That's kind of," yeah, I was really embarrassed. They had a good laugh, but also they said it was very sweet. But
Isn't it?
by the
Isn't it?
time,
It's
yeah,
weird where your head goes, right?
yeah. But
What
it
an
was
odd thing to be worried about.
no, I just like but I had the best time because I
Yeah,
knew it so well by then, and it was, when I said I saw the steps, like this was
sure.
definitely a step. Like, they say prepare for opportunity meets preparation.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, I didn't want to learn that song to sing at the opening of nationals because that was also one of the most terrifying things I've ever done. But I was like, I'm not going to be that because I'm going to get to that podium and I'm not going to be that dickhead that can't sing the national anthem.
Sure.
So it was all for me a little bit tied together, and I sang so loud. And I was definitely an emotional moment, and
That's
it
awesome.
was really, really nice to stand arm in arm with my husband and my brother, and
Sure. Do you
uh,
speak the language?
yeah, but terribly.
I'm
Do you speak
trying.
Finnish?
No, God, no. Fuck no. It's so
Then a
my
little
wife.
bit. Kiitos.
I can say thank you. That's about it.
What's thank
Um,
you?
Kiitos.
Kiitos. Yeah, that's
That's
right.
Kiitos. That's it.
Kiitos. Okay, so
My wife is a Swedish speaking Finn. So if I'm gonna learn a language, it's gonna be Swedish
men snackar
because
du svensk?
no, bara
Va?
lite svenska.
Du hördes lite
But
svensk ut. Det
yeah,
går bra.
you've already exhausted
No,
every.
you have a nice accent.
It's because of the wife. I mean, she
Yeah.
all her friends, all her family speak Swedish. But and it's enough like English that I think that I might be able to manage it. But I started taking classes, and in a place like this, when you've got people that don't speak Finnish or Swedish, chances are they're from somewhere else, which means they already speak at least one more language,
Yeah.
which means learning is easier. I'm
Yeah.
almost 55 years old, and I am so deeply ingrained with English that
Yeah.
learning to speak a different language is tough.
You'll be all right.
I'm
And
trying.
Swedish is cool, man. I mean, I suppose it's like learning anything, right? When we give up, at least this is what I struggle with, is I don't like being shit at things, and
Yes.
that's the only thing about learning is being shit for a really long time.
Yep. Yep.
But
My
then when you've learned something, you look back and you're like, oh, wasn't it fun when I was shit?
Yeah. Well, my mom said the same thing. She said she was taking French courses and that her instructor said she was struggling so badly because she's a writer as well. He said,
Yeah.
you're worried you're going to be bad at this and you're so
Yeah.
good with English that you're not allowing yourself to just sound like an idiot. And she's like,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
mean, for me as well with learning other languages, because I feel like it's a little bit my superpower
Mm,
is being able to communicate with people.
mm,
Because I've always found it, it was the thing that you would get. It's probably from growing up on a drop zone, right?
sure.
You're mixing with many, many different types of people. And how do you navigate in the world when your superpower is removed? So that's a
Indeed.
interesting kind of place to be.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I
Because
mean,
my superpower is definitely not speaking Norwegian.
it's definitely strange when you have to learn to redefine yourself because you've made
Yeah.
some big changes. This last year for me has been a real lesson in learning how to, oh no, I don't do this or that anymore. I need to
Yeah.
figure out a different way. Now, speaking of different ways, you
Wait,
went
is glass 2 legit?
Oh,
Or
pour away, pour away. So what you didn't see was, first off, we scheduled this podcast for 6, but I didn't bother to realize that you're actually an hour before me.
oh, so I wasn't late.
No, you weren't late. I was an hour early. So I sat in the studio for an hour with this massive glass of wine filled to the brim because it was supposed to last me the hour podcast.
Oh
But
shit.
so I've
Wait,
already gotten
how far away are you from the bottle?
it's in the house of the but
In
I've already definitely had my 2 glasses. Believe me, I'm good. But
You kept it together so well.
well, I mean, I've been doing this podcast for
Professional.
5 years now.
Professional.
Yeah, yeah.
Well done.
So I was transitioning into, you went from all of this stuff skydiving into somehow turning it all into a way to market and
Yeah.
advertise and start an agency. How the hell did that happen?
Man, we started the agency in 2008. So that's only 4 years after I started skydiving. And it was very, very heavily to do with the fact that I really was just so blown away and impressed by all of the skydivers and how fucking awesome they were and how cool they were and how nice, open, warm-hearted people, like open-minded, inclusive. Like I'd never, even though growing up in the sport, I hadn't had that interaction, like kind of as a, I say with air quotes, adult. Yeah, I've just was, and then I was also, I couldn't understand, like, how are they rocking up to the drop zone in a car that can barely move? You know, like they were broke.
Yep.
Like I had never met such a bunch of broke motherfuckers. And so also having a lot to do with sport at home and a little bit with music, I felt that there was a lot that we could do to slightly professionalize a little bit more.
Mm.
So yeah, I started to do some projects with some people and maybe just at least be the communication between like some newspapers and doing some photo stuff. I think our first ever project with the Edge was with Bruno Broken, when I'd met the editor of it's a big newspaper, man, but I don't remember, some British newspaper, and we had a couple of vinos in a bar in Spain, and he's like, what you do is pretty cool. And I was like, what do you do? He told me. I was like, oh shit, man, that's like a real job. And then by the end, he's like, we'll do a full centerfold for like whoever you think deserves it, kind of thing.
Oh,
And I
wow.
was like, I know this team. And it was, do you know Alan Pixie?
I know the name.
They're really wonderful, amazing, amazing humans. Al, he lost his legs when he was 19 in Northern Ireland. And they're British skydivers, and they definitely always taken care of me. So yeah, we did a little project there and helped them get some sponsorship for leading up to their world meet. So yeah, that kind of kicked off the agency.
Well, I would imagine too, because you said you started it in 2008.
2008.
So the fact that, especially since then, well, since I started as well, skydiving has gone so much more mainstream and become so much more professional that's got to add, it's kind of got to be good for both sides, right? Because the Edge helped add legitimacy to skydiving, and skydiving becoming mainstream added legitimacy to the Edge.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, you never. Are you legitimate? Are any of us legitimate?
I'm putting up a good facade.
Exactly. Yeah, you never. Yes, exactly. I think that we're definitely legitimate. It's super professional. Thanks to Holly, my business partner. She's fucking awesome. Like,
yes,
no, and she grew up in a drop zone as well, right? So we identify on like a whole other level, and yeah, it's really nice to have that connection with somebody that you can completely trust them,
Sure.
So whenever we venture into scary dark waters, like you've got each other's back. So I'd say that even though it started in 2008, I think Holly joined, and then we opened in the US in like, wait, you got to help me now, was it 2018 maybe?
Okay.
2017?
Okay.
Like then it was like supercharged,
Sure.
because I would have like this big list of things that we need to get done, and Holly just does shit.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, what I
Yeah.
appreciate about, because I work directly with Holly a lot more than you and I do.
Yeah.
And so she'll have projects and stuff, and a lot of it will filter through her. And it's the joy of having a business that you work with that has that skydiver feel to it, because she has absolutely no problem telling me in polite terms that I just gave her a pile of shit.
Yeah. But that's what I was thinking about the legitimacy as well. It's like we're legitimate, but I don't think we take us, or we remind ourselves we don't take ourselves too seriously. We
Sure.
take having fun and hanging out with amazing people and giving opportunities to people that are inspirational wherever possible, really seriously.
Sure.
But wherever possible, it's like don't take yourself too seriously because it's like probably not going to go well.
Yeah, don't take yourself too seriously and don't take it personally. I mean,
Yeah, which is
and that's
easier
a
said than done.
yes, that's a very hard thing, especially for a bunch of alpha skydivers to learn is no, 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 don't take it seriously. Just take a deep breath and try again. And I was lucky that I learned with her very, very quickly to go, oh no, she's just looking to get the best from her client and the best from me as well. And of course, she's incredibly professional when she does it, but I know how to read between the lines. Oh, that was shit. Try again.
Must try. Wasn't that, Matt? I feel like what was your school report though? Mine was always like, must try harder.
Oh yeah, yeah. Doesn't
Can't
God, what was the
concentrate, must try harder.
yes, yes, doesn't apply himself. That's what I always got.
Yeah. That's why we need, this is what me and Mox are working on at the moment. It's like because in those 4 years or like 3 years when I went off into national team, he went to helicopter school and got his license.
Nice.
So then like he transitioned to that's who was doubling down when we were doing the world meet because he was balancing both those things. So it's super impressive. But
Mm,
we've both done things that like have to keep us in like basically dangerous things that have to keep us in the zone in order to stay present.
sure.
And now like we're really working on, hey, what if we're not in a life-threatening situation and we could just be present?
Sure. It's
Yeah.
weird, right? Because
Fucking getting old's hard.
yes, I'm kind of on similar ground in that I stepped away, from being a full-time jump pilot after
Mm.
so many years and a full-time skydiver for so many years, and I find myself on the ground and in a country where regular gainful employment is very difficult without speaking the language.
Yeah.
So I have my little hustles here and there, but there's nothing critical going on. And I had to tell myself it's okay. There's literally nothing is going to happen. Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
There's no reason to be stressed.
Yeah.
And it's
Just
crazy.
lean into it.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you sent me a picture the other day that you were going cross country skiing.
Yes. Yes.
And man, who is it? There's some comedian does a bit about like, what the fuck? Cross country skiing, because it is really difficult and it is almost like they took all the fun out of skiing, but I love it.
That's a good way to put it. It's ridiculously hard work. And one thing that I've discovered about the Finnish culture is in general, Finnish people are very outgoing once they get to know you, but
Yeah.
they're not big on striking up conversations with strangers.
No, or facial expressions.
Unless you're on cross-country skis and you look like shit, in which case everybody wants to talk to you in Finnish.
Yeah, is that like the same thing happened here when like when the barn collapsed? I feel like that everybody liked us a little bit more because they could
Yes.
see how badly we're failing. So then they came and like talked to us, and I was like, cool, whatever makes it work.
Oh yeah. First off, they love seeing someone that's shit because they make cross-country skiing look so effortless. And then as soon as
Yeah.
they hear my, non-regional California accent, they're like, oh, this guy's shit at this. Let's talk to him.
Yeah, I mean, but it's the Nordic countries there. I mean, it's the world's best kept secret, no? It's the most
Oh yeah.
beautiful people, the best environment, the cleanest water. Sorry to be all like,
It
the
is.
best, biggest, but I really, it's so different to how I grew up.
Yeah.
But now I think I would struggle to have it change back to all of a different pace or because there's a lot less drama in
Yeah.
a way.
I don't think I could, and although we have much flatter ground than you do in Norway, depending on where you're at, it's just stunningly beautiful, And I mean, there's seasons and trees and amazing oceans and shorelines and all this just spectacular
Yeah.
stuff.
And you're a little bit, nature could almost kill you. So you are a little bit afraid for your life.
A little bit. Well, that too, and I moved here from Dubai after a decade in Dubai, and so I moved to a place that has less people in the entire country. than in, that area.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a nice change.
And where did you meet your wife?
In Dubai.
Was she working there?
Yeah, she was working doing events and stuff, and then she
Oh, cool.
transitioned with her job. She works for American Express, and then transitioned back here at the time when we were discussing leaving Dubai. And I hit my 10-year anniversary and went, okay, that's good. I'm
Yeah.
good. Enough sand.
My teammate's just doing his first season out there now.
I mean, if you're a working skydiver, it's tough to beat.
Right?
It really is.
Yeah, he's having a great time.
So, hey, as we wrap things up, tell people how they can follow your personal adventures, jumping and tunnel flying and all that stuff, and then how they find out more about the Edge and the agency, maybe to hire you or to work for you.
Yeah, we want to be part of the Edge Collective, which is me and you, we're both part of the Edge Collective. It's badasses out there hustling. Wait, did I just call us badasses, even though we're like old skydivers now?
That's okay. You can still be badass and old.
Anna Moxnes, Anna_Moxnes on Instagram and Anna Moxnes on Facebook. And the Edge is the view from the edge.
The view from the edge.
View from the edge. Yeah.
If you're a writer, a budding writer, what else? I would imagine graphic designers, photographers,
skydiving organizer, a guide, anything to do with any of the sports that we represent, which is mainly in air sports.
Awesome.
If you're a writer, yeah.
Awesome.
Creative of any sort.
A creative, there you go. Well, I'm glad you made it up the icy slope back to the work in progress. I can't wait to hear more about it and come visit, since we're kind of neighbors now.
Please come.
It's going to happen one of these days. Thank you so much for sharing some wine and shooting the shit with me.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
Fantastic.
You.
Cheers.
Let's go.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Lunatic Fringe podcast, brought to you as always by, well, wait, not as always, actually. Brought to you now by Gyro. Formerly known as NZ Aerosports, you'll head to gyro.com for their next level line of canopies. By Pussfoot, the extreme sports collective. Head over to pussfoot.com to check it out. By Summit Parachute Systems, check out summitparachutesystems.com to talk to Jarrett Martin and the gang about kick-ass pilot rigs, rigging courses, and more. By Flyaway Indoor Skydiving, go to flyawaytn.com and check out all the cutting-edge stuff to come. By Pure Spectrum CBD, head to purespectrumcbd.com to check out their wide range of CBD products. And as for us, head to the lunaticfringepodcast.com to listen to any of the hundreds of episodes currently available, hit the link for our YouTube channel, pick up your copy of the Lunatic Fringe book or The Accidental Stripper, and get a sneak peek at upcoming guests. Once again, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.